Hello, Internet. I'm forced to remove my original pin video. 50 minutes describing the whole account documenting inhumane torture from the mobbing community. I was investigating a police officer working off duty to attack me. Well, a BC judge has decided that's harassment to protect their soldier. Now at 38, all my dreams will never come true. I've been training and trying to become a police officer or a firefighter for years. As of June 6th, I have a criminal record, and it's taken a week for me to talk about it and to stop crying. Last year, the police labeled me as paranoid. But good news, with all my hard work, I've proven I'm not. I have solid evidence now, some things I've had to remove publicly, because a Victoria, British Columbia judge gave me 48 hours. Police have worked with Local 81, orchestrating enough complaints to take away my BC Class 1 driver's license of over 20 years. And I'm in the process of getting that back now. I've had 4 or 5 psych intakes this year issued by police, the court, voluntarily, and I have to do more. Because my bail supervisor has said that I'm not being cooperative. Good thing I've recorded every interaction on this account or on my YouTube account. If you've seen this 50-minute video that I'm going to post behind this video, I'm sorry. Describing all the crippling events, losing everything. I've had to edit out a few clips. Otherwise, new charges will be laid on me in August. Thank you for your support.
Me in my back seat. Officer Dobin admitted to setting up just to issue me a false ticket, which proves corruption. I'm working with organized crime to slowly cripple me.
Charge is dismissed. The Dragon-Eye laser was used, but I don't have any indication that the device was tested at the beginning and the end of the shift to make sure it was working properly. I have a visual estimate of 45 kilometers per hour, but I don't have any information as to the accuracy of your visual estimates, plus or minus 5 or plus or minus 10. I don't have any information, therefore, that I can rely on as to the accuracy of the reading. And finally, 10 o'clock. You're free to go.
February 14th. Here's the full 8 minutes, if you want to listen to that.
Me a false ticket, which proves corruption. I'm working with organized crime to slowly cripple me. The judge literally made sure I wouldn't speak a word and fought this ticket for me. The 8-minute clip of Officer Dobin is in my likes. I filmed 30 minutes before our interaction about me being mobbed. So before Officer Dobin pulled me over, I was already filming when I woke up at Uptown in Victoria that I was being mobbed. And then I filmed Officer Dobin's whole interaction. I have his partner telling me, I can see why you've been fired, because I was begging for them not to give me a ticket. And he's like, well, I can see why you've been terminated. And I have my manager, where I was terminated at Pure Lighter, tell me that James, the 30-year union rep, telling Dave, my manager, Dave telling me that, hey, yeah, James told me that he said fuck off and die. I don't know even what fucking silence to tell someone fucking die. Yeah, I mean, said that, and Dave was trying to like backtrack, and he says, well, you didn't do anything wrong. Dave telling me I didn't do anything wrong. So, and then I filmed after they gave me a ticket when I went back around that area. I drove down to Thrifty's, drove back, and they were gone. So that proves that they only set up just to give me a ticket, just to work with locals to slowly cripple me. Proves corruption. I've been on the run across 4 provinces. I'm at the edge of the country now. A lawyer asked me the other day if I have charges. You name it, police and locals are trying to blame me in the form of mental health. I have a 40-minute psych intake police issued me, which I've passed, which I have it on YouTube, and it's in my likes. Who said?
Oh, okay. No, you said this is a weird interaction. I said I just don't want to make it feel weird for you.
Interesting.
And then your phone number. Any other history of like criminal?
Fit in, right? You're labeled as like a goof. Yeah. The full 40-minute thing of me talking to like a psych intake. My rights were taken away last year. When I reported me being attacked in a Esquimalt, I went to the police, and the officer had tears in his eyes, and he was instructed to bring me to the hospital, which then my rights were taken away. And I gave them my Twitter, told them everything that was happening. I didn't have as much evidence as I have now. And after day 2, they stopped. They were giving me they were trying to fake slip me pills in my food. I wouldn't eat it or drink it. Like a pill service from the apple juice. I'm like, what the heck? Started dissolving. And then after day 2, they stopped forcing me, giving me pills. They realized that. And then after day 4 or 5, I was released. Nurses were faking heart tests and shit like that. By not having the tube plugged into the machine right out, like all the way in. Stuck a needle in my arm and started wiggling it for 2 minutes. Try to get me to react. Now, with the evidence I have, greatly proves everything I'm saying. I passed the 30-minute field sobriety test last year. I've been living in my car for almost 8 years. Yeah, thank God police have certain rules, because they had to call in a separate officer who had an accent. And
yeah, this is the field sobriety. I had to scroll for a while. And
Reese, you good?
yeah,
Yeah?
here's the...
Give me a thumbs up if you're good, man.
He has to move his car.
I said I'm good.
Yep. I'm in the back seat. I just woke up from sleep.
Hey, I can see you. I know you're talking. I can see you moving your mouth, but I can't.
Well, I don't know. We're dealing with something else.
You want to
We
watch
talked to
the
the city
field
about.
sobriety thing? That's... I think there's something. Hold on. Here's the interaction with...
You're going 42 in a school zone. Here's the keep on uttering rude things. Okay.
Stop us uttering rude things. This
Why?
officer...
You don't feel safe?
This officer right here was talking shit. Okay, here's me being the field sobriety test a year ago. We'll try to check out that afterwards. And then they're just gonna oh, dang it.
To the investigator, okay? I don't know anything about that file, so I'll forward it on to the investigator if that works for you.
That's pretty quick. Thank you.
Yeah, man. No, I saw the email come in and I thought I'd stop by. I saw your car's still here. Right?
Appreciate it.
Not all cops are assholes, and
No.
you seem like the actual...
99% of cops are amazing. All first responders are amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
grateful to have you
You
guys.
seem like an actual decent person going through a lot of shit, and
I told you I'm stressed, man.
Pardon?
I told you I'm stressed.
No, man, totally get that. That's why I want to forward the email right away.
So this is when I emailed them and was telling them even a year ago of what's happening to me. Haven't heard anything back. I filed with Human Rights, CPCC, CPRC in multiple provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, on me being attacked. No one has done anything. Get all these first responder badges,
and he was issued to like do the test because these officers were like, I have it all filmed and stuff, and they wouldn't leave me alone, and they said I was like under the influence or whatever. And yeah, so I just showed you me talking to the officer that minute. That's after I passed the field sobriety test. So they said I couldn't film the 30 minutes. So I have before how I was treated, and then afterwards that officer saying not all cops are assholes. So those cops are trying to fucking pin me, and anyways. There's just so much evidence, so much has happened to me, it's hard to keep it all right. So because locals around my vehicle were smoking weed and blowing weed. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. Like, I'm set up to fail. I'm not walking. I'm literally trapped in my back seat, and like, I'm not walking. So I'm like, I'm cold, but I passed. And then the guy told the other officers, he like was like trying to like reassure him. He's like, I've only had like 3 or 4 people ever pass my test, because like the other officers were pissed. Please ban me from Costco when employee and customers attack me. I have that on video, and I have pictures.
Why'd you just kick me?
Huh? I didn't. I just.
Why'd you just kick me?
I accidentally bumped into.
Why did you kick me?
Accidentally just bumped.
Why are you touching me?
That guy had 420 tattooed in the back of his head.
No, he already did twice, actually.
Massive bold letters.
That guy assaulted me twice.
And his name tag was...
2 of your employees kicked me and touched me. Why is that?
Hey, sir.
What's that guy's name?
Sir, I'm just going to ask you to leave.
Yeah. What's that guy's name, though?
No, I'm going to ask you to leave, sir.
Oh, okay, sure. Thank you. Do you mind if I go to the washroom first? I was trying to do that, but I almost peed myself just now. Thank you. Jeff. So what's that guy's name?
I'm not going to tell you. I just need to...
Okay.
Hi.
And I almost peed myself because I'm pissing blood. Is it gonna show? Oh, no, hold on. That's not... Me pissing blood back, like before Costco. This is when, right before I started living in my car, my landlord filled up a steam machine. This is a squirrel moment. A steam machine full of chemicals, and would put it in the cracks while I was sleeping. My heart would race, and then I had a stroke, and half my face, this side of my face, was droopy. Yeah, lucky me. Here's my new upper driver's license.
When I shit blood or piss blood from employees poisoning my food, this is why the teacher was hired, to get close to me to speed up the crippling. Her father trained the military, and his retired friends are on a witch hunt. So when that guy attacked me, and I had my Fluke 985...
When I was released.
Yeah, you do right now.
Well, this is weird, man. You're in our neighborhood, and you don't call the cops.
This is a $10,000 machine. I don't mean anyone harm.
You got Jordans on and a fucking watch. What the fuck do you care about fucking air quality?
Because that's my business. I'm an environmental consultant, sir.
Show me.
Yeah,
Prove it right now.
This is a $10,000 machine.
I don't give a fuck what that is.
Who do you work for, buddy? Like, who do you
Fucking
Thought he was gonna take that
$10,000
machine.
machine you fucking stole from somewhere? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that was this video. And then if you click this link, and then go to last video.
It's not your fault, but I told you.
Says snitches get stitches on your phone?
Snitches get stitches.
That's what you're posting?
Come out and talk to me then.
That was my
If you want your
bio
phone
needs.
back.
I'm getting this snitches
Get out and
get
talk
stitches
to me.
from me. So you get out and talk to me.
I got a problem with you being in front of my house for over an hour, taking pictures of my girlfriend and people in this neighborhood.
I wasn't trying to take pictures of anyone, man.
But you did,
Okay.
right?
Which I didn't.
Right?
For
Keep
what?
dancing around. You think you're fucking intelligent, but you're not. Answering and not answering, right?
Hold on.
Good morning. Good, how are you?
So these are the 4 videos of me talking with people. This is what he's saying that I'm taking pictures.
Environmental. What's your name?
This is what he's talking about. He's going, "What are you doing?" She says. I'll show you.
There's a meter that I'm just analyzing here.
Okay.
Yeah. Just air quality. Because I'm an air quality snob.
Why specifically here?
Just making my rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were taking a picture.
Yeah, I'm just, investigating.
So this had nothing to do with his girlfriend or anything like that. This is me backed into a corner on a dead-end street, and they don't know the whole story, and this guy is just being a fucking nutcase. Which then I was arrested. They took my phone.
That's the way your phone was when I took it out of your pocket.
And when I was in the backseat of that cruiser,
No, I don't think I was.
it said that I was upset.
You issued me a promise, which I'm going to hold you to your pocket. I might have inadvertently hit something, but I wasn't snooping in your...
And then right after that day, guess who got a death threat? Me. What sounds like that guy. He attacks me, threatens me, all this jazz, accuses me of things I wasn't doing, and then I get a death threat. Attacked me, and I had my Fluke 9085 air particulate machine. I had my back, always going to a dead end to the random neighborhood because I don't want to be followed and attacked. People walking their dogs were wondering what I was doing, and I just, hey, yeah, I'm just I'm an air technician, or I forgot what I was saying. And I was just explaining who I was, this and that. I didn't have business cards. I had business cards now. Yeah, so then anyways, I was attacked, and the guy who attacked me seemed to know a lot about me. He started describing me and who I was. I never even met this guy before. He said is it because I'm black? I'm like, what? Wait, what are you talking about? Took my $25 phones when I bought the new S23 Ultra. Snatched it out of my hands when the police showed up. He still had my phone, but I was arrested. I was in the back seat, and it said that on the screen, Renee was upset. When was I upset, guys? So people are just always lying, try to say I'm dangerous or whatever, whatever the case is. So no one is asking me why. Why are people doing this? The worst things are being said about me. I have proof if it's a lie. For one, I've had multiple death threats, emails after a local attacked me and lied, all on video with the RCMP. Max Tasha, working with my father for 20 years. Her parents are East Coasters. Her father looks like the teacher. Here's a death threat from Billy Green. Do you have a death wish? First thing he messages me. Also, there's that East Coaster. After the harassment, after a wellness check was done, after 3 seconds I was arrested, brought to Sandage. They laughed. The officer at Sandage had a rainbow. Is there any way to, This is me getting out of the cell, after I just spoke to the court on the phone, and just wanting to get out of the cell because they just were spraying nauseous chemicals and gave me a heart attack for the whole day. And this is me talking to this guy, this security East Coaster. The best way to get the recording on cell 1 of where I was staying.
I don't think you can have the recording. You can ask your lawyer about that.
What happens if I'm representing myself? What is the number to reach you guys here? Because everyone keeps on calling, right?
Yeah, you can just Google Sandage Police Department. And we have the phone number over there. You can just call that number. Okay.
And so what would the lawyer's process, if I'm representing myself, I don't have a lawyer, what's the process that I need to take to get the video recording on me having a heart attack in the cell and not me getting an ambulance?
Yeah.
And just, you held back a smile right there for a second.
Yeah, I did. So you can call and make a...
And this is as soon as I got out after speaking with them, and after that lady told me to kill myself.
Look what they did to me.
Look at that. They had a homeless guy spray the shit.
I had a heart attack because of what they were spraying in my cell.
I'm outside the entrance now.
My whole nose was closed, and this is... But then I was talking on the phone just recently after this happened hours ago, and I laughed. But as you can see, I was just released. Flag covering his badge number. He took away my respirator and said that, don't worry, there's good air here.
they had a homeless person in cell 2. I was in cell 1, spraying nauseous chemicals at me, so I had a heart attack breathing this stuff in. I didn't wipe it. Shit was coming out of my nose, and I would just wipe it like this to save it so it would dry. Because I know from my experience of all the years of me being attacked to do that, and once it dries, then it looks like something. Well, the security guard that was there, he's a paramedic and he's an East Coaster, and he laughed about me having a heart attack. They still haven't given me the video on me holding my chest for 5 hours. A few weeks ago, Tasha's cousin on Facebook messaged me a death threat, and family member told Tasha. Family member told me Tasha's dad said I'm a stand-up guy. So all the people I messaged on Tasha's mom's Facebook, it was just a message on like, hey, this is what I'm being tortured.
Here, Paul told me you're a stand-up dude. There's a Facebook.
Torture. This is what's happening to me. Instantly, Billy Green, her cousin, he's like, are you looking to die? Or something like that. I have it on a screenshot. So just shows their intentions. Professionals are lying and putting blame because they can't stop the vandalism done by local gangs working with the Hells Angels and off-duty cops and their wives are just trying to push me out of the province and cripple me. So like when I was going to a Squamalt wreck, people would follow me, clog up the washroom because I need to use the washroom. Like I live in my car. And it got so bad after the constant vandalism and me just going to the front desk because they're trying to blame it on me. And I'm like super clean and OCD. So one day it got so bad that the washroom overflowed and there was just brown shit and water everywhere covering the whole fucking change room, going out to the fucking pool deck. It was bad. And that's like they're just stressing out management, employees to just ban me and just because all I do, like I just want to train to be a cop, use a sauna, go to Costco, and they've taken all that away from me. And like I didn't have anything in the first place. And my job, I can't work. They just complain until they stress out management. When I was working over at Coca-Cola, Trisha, when people were on like maternity leave, she
That's me in the driver's seat. This is me peeing blood.
So,
This is at Costco.
you might be able to see those little specks.
Blood down there.
Watch.
Here's a customer attacking me. Oh, here's me writing grievances over at Pure Later. And if you flip it over, it's me writing while being attacked by one of the supervisors. Here's me communicating way before any of me being banned at Costco happened. Look, Costco contacted the RCMP and the RCMP just banned me instead. Here's the contract that Coca-Cola gave me, $10,000. When I was in Saskatchewan, I got 2 credits during COVID. 75% and 81% in math and science. Because I talked to a recruiter in CAF, Canadian Armed Forces, and he was going to be a firefighter. But he said, I have my diploma, but I only had 9 and 10 math and science. He says, well, you need grade 11 math and science. So I did. He says, you need a minimum 75% average. Well, I got it. But then I've went in multiple provinces, and now they still won't take me as a firefighter. Here's the Hells Angels stalking me on Facebook. That's Joe. He knows my father in Whitby, Ontario. He's a patch member for Brooklyn chapter. He owns Dial 1 Duck Cleaning. And these people were always like close to me. Here's another job. The only time I did long haul truck driving. But my father followed me here too. I was wondering, I'm like, why am I getting nosebleeds? Why they took away, those are brand new bolts? Well, they took apart the manifold. So then I would breathe in carbon monoxide the whole week. So I bought this to prove it. And this is on a Friday. This is at that house where the lady was putting chemicals in the steam machine.
So not only was I getting attacked at home, but also at work. Here's a time before I came to Vancouver Island in Grand Prairie when I had my Buick LaCrosse. I woke up and all my tires were slashed. I was stuck at Canadian Tire for 3 days in like the cold of Grand Prairie, the winter. And yeah. This is when the guy pulled the gun on me. Still have my Buick. They wanted to start some reaction. People always want me to react, right? So they can put blame on me. Pull the gun, drove away. Here's a cop from my childhood in grade 6. He was there, and his son was there when I was raped. Constable Shaw, my fellow had been working with him from Durham region. She took over because my hiring manager, Purelator and Coca-Cola both get fired and both get pushed out, so they can push me out next. And for some reason, and Trisha said international customers, and that's when Victoria shortly after that put a ban on international students having a curfew. There's a news article. I live in my car. A few months ago, for my Christmas present, the government took away my Class 1 license. I have 20 years of Class 1 experience and a German crane operating ticket, and I live in my car. I went to Calgary, though, and switched that shit over, so I'm... Oh, that was a moose back there. Me doing pressure on new rebuilt things, me studying for my ticket, trying to help a guy get unstuck. Pressuring our tools, studying. Staying in a hotel. These roads. Muddy. Oh man, that had to take that thing because there was like an ice road and we couldn't get our trucks in. That thing was so bumpy, oh my gosh. Prentice. Here's Pier 27 in Toronto. That's at Markham. This is where the hammer dropped from the roof on my head. It was so cold. There's no windows. Oh, when I was having car trouble, I had to borrow my ex's car. Union wouldn't give us PPE. This is what we had to breathe in. That's a ladder. A scissor lift. There's only 2 of us in that whole entire job site. 4 condos. So we're backtracked. We're supposed to be ahead of these guys, or we're getting screwed with this. That's a piece of plywood on top of a bunch of shit. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Only 2 of us there, struggling. No, that's the heating for that, this right here. That's pretty crazy, right? Those guys work so hard. Me getting really good with my cuts. Me being able to take multiple measurements and just cutting one piece right from the get-go and it fitting perfectly. Oh, that's Don from Bowmanville. He's supposed to be my fitter. That's, anyways, yeah. Anyway, locally, 5'3". Oh, that's, at Tim's house, my fitter that you saw in those pictures, at his house in a commercial up Pier 27 that we were working at. You know, because I knew they were going to play games, and it's been 3 months, and the doctor just keeps on giving me the runner. He's like, we'll just keep on playing this
this mail tag with Drive Safe BC and ICBC on, oh, there's not much I can do. And the police are saying I need to go to a physician, but now he said that he called me 2 weeks ago and said that he couldn't get a hold of me and said my phone was disconnected, and my phone has never been disconnected in my life. And I told the nurse on the phone, like, well, how am I calling you now? And she's like, well, I'll call you. This is a week and a half ago. And I still haven't got anything in the mail, so I don't think he filled anything out. And I voluntarily offered to give a piss test because in the thing, Drive Safe BC is making it even more complicated, even though I did the test that they wanted to do that the doctor didn't want to do in 30 days so that they canceled my license. And then I did it after the 30 days, and then they sent another letter. It's just bullshit. Making it more complicated. Now the doctor is just like sloughing it over because I feel like he's being intimidated by locals. Right? Because someone has to sign me off.
Well, I'm not sure, like, I mean, they're really giving you a hard time. I'm not sure what I can do, you know. Right? You know, they are, right?
So after this clip and after this interaction with Dr. Nielsen, he was supposed to in a couple days fill out the paperwork, send it back to them. Well, he didn't do that. And then now I feel like I'm getting ignored because he's getting in heat from the police. Because the police are just trying to cripple me.
And so now I can't work and do my trade in the province. It got so bad that I bought a Tesla. Actually, I have two. Long story. My white Tesla's at Tesla right now, not being paid for. My 2017 Buick LaCrosse that was scrapped for $100. That was worth 10 to 15.
Here's my Tesla right now. Here's my other Tesla. So it's still at Tesla, 2%, and they changed the name to Diaper. What date is it? March 19th. On February 23rd, 7%, they had the hood open. On March 13th, door was open. And then March 14th, everything was shut.
$15,000. Barb Desjardins scrapped it for $100. One of 3 times when my vehicle has been towed, and I've had to pay for everything. And I
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. Was it you I was speaking with a couple minutes ago? Oh, okay. So today was the 3rd time that I called and kind of checked in about my car, right?
Yeah.
And I did get a letter, and so the 2nd time I called, as soon as I got that letter for the just over $1,000 that was left owing, I spoke with someone, and they were a little baffled that I couldn't come pick up such a new vehicle, and they're not used to having such a new vehicle impounded and someone not picking it up, right? And I'm like I can't afford to do anything with it or pick it up. And the person told me that then it would go to auction, right? And I'm like, okay, well, my exact reaction, I'm like, well, you're gonna make profit on it? And they're like, no, we're only gonna get $3 or $4 grand for it, even though it's worth $10,000 to $15,000, right?
But like I said to you on the phone, I sent you a letter telling you what was going to happen to the vehicle if you didn't come and get it. To me, it wasn't worth much because I've got no keys. I don't know whether it runs. I'm not paying for keys and somebody to program those keys when I don't know what's wrong with the car. I did a search on it. There was no lien on it.
So there's no lien, and the vehicle is worth $10,000 to $15,000.
It wasn't worth $10,000 to $15,000 for me.
Okay.
You got to think about it. How many vehicles come in here? They could be 3 years old, and it's got a blown transmission in it.
And I had to pay $1,200 at one point for something. Yeah. So so not only did they scrap it for $100, but then I had a bill for $1,200 I had to pay. So that's paid. 2017 Buick LaCrosse, that was almost paid for. People were breaking into my trunk when I was at work and poisoning my food and water. So the Tesla, I can run the HVAC system 24/7, and it's low key. Like my engine isn't running. I don't have an engine, right? So I can like park anywhere.
By the way, before I bought a Tesla, I ratchet strapped my 2 back doors shut when I would leave my car. I ratchet strapped my passenger door shut and my trunk shut. So the only way I could get that you can get in is from the driver door. And I bought one of those sensors where it's like a camera sensor that you use for like hunting in like the woods. And I would set that up in my cup holder. So if anyone wanted to get into my car, it would show and I can review it on my cell phone. That's what I ended up doing before I bought the Tesla.
Yeah. If you Google a bioweapon, the definition, that's what that is. If someone poisons your food so you shit or piss blood, that's bioweapon. If I'm treated...
A bioweapon, also known as a biological weapon, is a harmful biological agent such as a pathogen or toxin that is intentionally developed, produced, or used to cause death or disease in humans, animals, or plants. These agents can be spread through various means, including air, water, or food, and can have devastating effects on the targeted population. The use of bioweapon is considered serious crime and is prohibited by international law. Oh, really?
Treated like a pest, a bug, or a cockroach, you call it an exterminator, and what do they spray? So I'm talking about like this bioweapon thing and me breathing in this stuff, which is this napkin. This is what I'm breathing in. Right? This is what, like one month's worth? A little bit more than that? It's pretty heavy too. Anywho, back to my story. The teacher... Also, there's that East Coaster. I'm breathing in adhesive detergent mixed with chemicals. That's what that stuff seems like it is. I'm not sure the mixture changes sometimes, but if you try to go to the gym, or if I try to go to the gym or anything, I'm hunted. So I haven't walked or moved from the back seat in months. Like, no joke, I haven't moved. You know, because I'm stocked less the last couple days, but if I go out and do something, they just attack me out in public. And it's anyways. Police say I'm paranoid, which is insane. I also have spent thousands on PPE from 3M on respirators and filters and cartridges over the years from this happening. And Coca-Cola Victoria paid me $10,000 because I was one of 2 drivers out of 7 that never had an incident, and I proved I was being mobbed and attacked. All of my likes, which they ended up only paying me $5,600, and they shorted me 52 hours. And before that, they shorted me like 10 or 12 hours, and they were playing all these games to try to like just have me. They were only giving me two days a week out of work. So then they're like, oh, well, you can just merchandise, which pays $10 an hour less. And I was merchandising 3 days a week, and then I was driving 2 days a week, but they wanted me to work the Saturday. I worked 6 Saturdays or 7 Saturdays straight. I merchandised every day, did all of it, but they didn't want to pay me the overtime because I was working all of that, right? So no matter what, people are always trying to make sure I never get ahead. I was almost debt-free there too. Never missed a day. Worked my ass off. I was a yes man. Delivering skids that were built with all the heavy things on top, with the with things that weren't structurally sound on the bottom, trying to slow me down, trying to slow down my times. They were built higher than me. When other drivers had skids that were barely up to their waist, off early at 1 o'clock, me working till 6 o'clock, and then people mad at me like, why are you out late? I'm like, I'm just doing everything that I can. And then they played the game where, oh, we can't bring anything back, and you name it, they try to do it to me. But with all my experience, I just slowed down and I was safe, and I didn't do anything wrong, and they had to pay me finally. With all the years of me being fucked, I finally got on top right there. But still. Anyways, if you scroll up, if you scroll up from the bottom of my likes, Yeah, my likes is a mess, but if you scroll down to the bottom on where a man pulled a gun on me in 2022, I bought a Tesla. After that's for security and surveillance, and things have got better, but locals have adapted. If you scroll up, it's just me documenting me being tortured and attacked. Locals lying, and with me filming and audio recording has been saving my butt. When I was a kid, my father used me to stalk the hiring manager at OPG nuclear power plant in Bowmanville, Ontario. Car Dave used to own a sports shop. My dad would become a regular and friends with Dave. Dave would give me Raptors season tickets on my B-day. I think this happened like a half dozen times. My dad would spend thousands a month and I don't know where he got the money. Dave has 2 degrees. My friends and friends of friends all make $100K a year, and Hells Angels runs that place now. Also, when we would go to that Raptors game, it was just like a giant. We like leave Oshawa, go downtown Toronto, and everything's about money and rush and no quality time. It was just all bitching about anything. I'd always be hungry because my mom never cooks, and I could never cook. And when I was a kid, I was always trapped in the basement. That's why I was a nerd and just played video games, because I would live at everyone else's houses because she was nuts. And yeah, so. And why my dad has like a second life. So my father would also poison GM workers at coffee shops and brag about it when I was a kid. He went to jail for killing someone when I was born, turning all my friends into drug dealers, and most have giant tattoos across their back shoulders. My mom is a drug dealer. He wanted me to do the same. I wouldn't sell drugs. I wouldn't sell pills when I was hauling fuel when I was 20 or 19. But I've wanted to be a cop since I was 5 years old when my father was in jail. And he has a second family on why he would do this to me. Also, I think when I was 5 years old and in school, when the cop came that day and I wanted to be the cop, and the cop gave me the handcuffs like to play with, I think that's when the teacher like made fun of me once. I remember there was like an assignment to wear like a funny T-shirt and to talk about it. And I told my mom about it. I said it was like so important. I'm like, this is like, she like made me do it. And the teacher made fun of me, and the whole class laughed at me.
It was an
assignment. I was like 5 years old,
and everyone did it.
And it was after the cop, and I think it was like the cop working with the teacher to like treat me like shit. And
this is in Scarborough, Ontario.
Anyways. I have a screenshot of my old dispatcher when operating crane telling me my father called and he was in town. And my father ended up working with this guy, Ken, who...
This is me applying for Alberta Sheriffs. Yeah, Sergeant just called me. I was trying to be with, try to get on with Alberta Sheriffs. I didn't get it, though. Here we go. Dude, you told me a long time ago that my dad called Stinger, which, why would he? I think he was something to do with this. Yeah, he was calling to see if you still worked there, and at the time, and he said that, no, he doesn't. He doesn't work there, not sure where he went, whatever. I have a Facebook message before this of Mark telling me that my dad flew in. It's on my old phone. And this is my dad calling around to see where I was working, and then he went to go to my new job at Tyco and to mess that up.
Ooh, my boss, when I was operating crane, told me like Ken has like a rap sheet like so thick, and I wasn't speaking to my father back then. Proof that my father has been hunting me and destroying every good job I've ever had. My father hauls fuel, petrol, and B-train tankers. I did that when I was 18. The government paid for my driving course, by the way, when I was on EI, for whatever the reason is. It's a long story, but yeah. Thank you, government. So he bought me a brand new Peterbilt, and then he also gave me a long hose so that I would hook up with all the fittings to like the tanker. So he would make me sell fuel, or he would make me steal like diesel fuel and fill up the truck. because he wouldn't give me a credit card. And also my wages were 50% less always than everyone else, because he would tell everyone that he was like saving for me or saving this or that, which is bullshit. I haven't gotten any money from him. And he set me up because one day a Russian businessman that owns stations caught me, or almost caught me. He caught me unraveling the hose, and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then he took away the Peterbilt and like made a giant thing. I had to switch jobs, and it's always been something. Well, yeah, so he had a massive jerry can business, 100 jerry cans for $10 a pop weekly. His friends had massive storage tanks on their property. Well, one day he set me up with a Russian, he had a steel fuel, and he used to park at Taunton Tire on Taunton Road in Oshawa. The owner's wife's husband is a pipe fitter. Wait, no. The owner that owns it, his wife's sister's husband is a pipe fitter. When I couldn't get ahead of it, it was always something happening. I didn't know at that age my father was backstabbing me, so I got into pipe fitting. All my hard work I got in the union, local 853. Well, in Markham, Ontario, my fitter, I found out, was Taunton Tire, the owner's wife's sister's husband. That was my fitter. Well, one day a hammer dropped from the roof and missed me on the bottom floor one day, taking a massive chunk out of the concrete. It was like 6 inches maybe. Landed, took a piece of concrete like this thick out of the concrete, like this. The hammer was snapped in half. My fitter, Tony Bruno, Italian guy, he was kept quiet because he's like, what the fuck? They're supposed to be on like a lanyard tied to your belt. He investigated. He was bribed to keep quiet, but him immediately offered his very first pipe fitting job. And this is when I started having to drive 3.5 hours away one way to a job. And guess who was his apprentice on the job? Me and Tony Bruno. Yep. And yeah. So yeah, I got into the union. Hammer dropped. 3.5 hours one way for travel. Then he had ex-cons scare me. He had ex-cons that scared me. My father told me to go to Alberta. Not only that, also, when my parents moved to Curtis, on that Tony Bruno job, the HVAC guy, the tin knocker guy, he was neighbor. He lived 3 houses down from my parents' house on Curtis. And that tin knocker used to haul petroleum with my father. So I've always been surrounded with people that my father knows. It's kind of insane. Oh, and my mom would talk to that guy every day. When I moved back from Alberta and moved in with my parents' house, my mom would talk to that guy every day, and that guy bragged about being like a pharmacist. He's like, yeah, I'm the local pharmacist. Like, what? Local 3. Yeah, he had ex-cons scare me. Then I moved. It was my dad's idea to move to Alberta. I got a German ticket. I worked 3 months straight once, up at 4 a.m. But my car got broken into, and people started treating me different. I didn't know that my father was in town and was involved. Then I got into pipe fitting with local 488. Yeah, I got into 488, and it wasn't that long until people started treating me differently again. And now the guy, my manager that took me under his wing, and I was learning so much, things started to change. And then they shut down Tyco, and then now in that same building, everything, it's branded as Dave's Business. That's the guy's name. And now it's all the same, but now he owns his own business.
And Costco is right. There's Costco. That used to be one of our customers. I think it's called Valor now. Yeah, it is, Dave. Him and his wife are really good people.
So he benefits. But back when I was operating crane, they convinced a guy, and that's when I became junior crane operator. I just got my ticket and I started running my own jobs, just small jobs. They convinced the guy on the first job. I drove the crane unit, and this guy Jamie drove the F-350. It was a 2-day job. After the first day, Jamie drove back the F-350 once the crane was rigged in. And Jamie decided to pass someone in a turn and clip the passenger side with another F-350. Both vehicles were totaled. So my father has been working with Hells Angels and unions across the country for my whole life. And here I am.
Stinger operating crane. When I worked for Tyco. I went live here, I think. Yeah, it was live. Me trying to do Alberta. This is me trying to be for Alberta sheriffs and pass the physical test.
Sorry about the